Welcome to the channel and welcome back for a brand new week of What's for Dinner. So this video is going to be looking a little different than my previous What's for Dinner videos. I always get questions from my followers on what to do with chicken. So today I'm going to be sharing with you guys 4 different chicken recipes that my family knows and loves. I hope this is helpful for somebody out there. So let's go ahead and get started. For this first recipe, I'm going to be making a very basic but very delicious buttermilk fried chicken. Now for this, you can use any cut of chicken. I'm going to be using chicken tenders, and my buttermilk and my flour are both seasoned up with all of these seasonings you see me showing here. There is my chicken soaking in my buttermilk. It's been there for about 4 hours, but you guys can leave it in for just 30 minutes and it's going to work the exact same. After you have your chicken soaking in your seasoned buttermilk, go ahead and add it to your seasoned flour. And then you're going to see me here check for my oil to see if it's hot before I drop my chicken in. And you'll see very quickly that my flour did not sizzle at all. So that's how I know that it was not ready. And I just went ahead and kept flouring up some chicken tenders. And then I'm going to go ahead and drop those in there once my oil is nice and hot. Now, once you notice that your chicken is floating at the top of your oil like this, that's how you know that it's done. But I like to leave mine in there for just a little bit longer just to make sure. But now I'm going to go ahead and remove my chicken and just set it on a drying rack. That way all the oil can drip off of it and it's not going to get soggy this breading. It's absolutely delicious, crispy, flavorful, and I think your family's really going to like this one. I mean, look at how delicious those chicken tenders look. They look like they're right out of a restaurant. Now moving on to one of our dinner sides for tonight, I'm going to be making some air fried potatoes. I know this is a chicken recipe video, but I wanted to show you guys these roasted potatoes anyways because I always get comments on these when I make them and they are really, really good. So I think you guys should really give these a try. First, we're going to season up our potatoes with some olive oil, some garlic, salt, and pepper. And I do always add Italian seasoning and Parmesan to my potatoes before I add them into my preheated air fryer. Now, I just let those cook for about 15 to 20 minutes. I keep checking them and shaking them occasionally, but they come out so soft but so crispy on the outside. These are a really, really good one and such an easy side. Here is how I served it up to the kids. I just did a little side salad on the side and some applesauce for my picky eaters, as well as some steamed broccoli. And then here was my husband's plate. And don't worry, I had a plate too, but of course I plated up mine after I had everybody settled and I didn't want to grab a clip of it. Now we are going to be moving on to our next recipe. This is chicken tortilla soup, and it's actually one of the first times that I made it like this. So I started off by boiling up my own chicken, and I'm showing you all of the seasonings I used in the water to boil it up. Now, boiling chicken is something I didn't do until just this past year. There was just something about it that I kind of wasn't sure about. I felt like my chicken would probably just not be as flavorful, but I have been boiling chicken for quite a while now, especially for like meal prepping or having shredded chicken in our fridge. And it's been a lifesaver. I love doing this and having shredded chicken on hand all week long so I could use it in all kinds of different recipes for really quick and easy weeknight meals. Once my chicken was cooked through, it only took about 25 to 30 minutes because of how thin my chicken breasts were. Then I just shredded them up in this bowl. And here is what I'm going to be starting my soup with. So I did start off with some mushrooms. This probably isn't in any other chicken tortilla soup recipe, but I love to add in veggies any way I can. And I started recently adding mushrooms to my food processor and chopping them up really tiny. I really don't like mushrooms at all, but I don't mind the flavor because they're a very mild flavor vegetable. So if I have them chopped up where I don't even notice them in my own meals, then I'm more likely to eat them, and so are my kids. I'm just moving everything over to my stove, and I'm gonna cook up these veggies until they are nice and soft. Over to my crock pot, I have all of my cans that I'm going to be adding into this soup. I started off by adding those softened veggies into the bottom, as well as some whole garlic, a can of corn, some dried and rinsed black beans. I added in 1 can of crushed tomatoes and 1 can of rotel. Now this rotel was hot. I didn't realize it beforehand, and the soup ended up really way too spicy for my kids. Me and my husband really enjoyed this one. I went in with 7 cups of liquid. I did part chicken broth and part water with chicken bouillon because that's all I had to add into the soup, but it did work out in the long run. I put the lid on that and I cooked this for 4 hours on high before I added in my already cooked chicken because I didn't want that chicken to just cook for too long in the crock pot. So I added this in and I gave it about 30 minutes for that chicken to warm up, and then this soup was ready to serve. I am serving up this soup with some shredded cheddar cheese, some sour cream, and some tortilla chips, and I really enjoyed this soup. I did end up saving a bunch of it for my freezer, and I have already gone in and ate a whole freezer pack of it, so I'm really glad I did that. They came in handy, but I'm definitely going to be keeping this soup around for next winter. Now this next recipe I kind of dropped the ball on recording, but I did get the majority of it down, so I'm still going to share this recipe with you. This is a family favorite here. We eat this at least once a week using different types of chicken. Today I'm using some chicken wings, and yes, we like all flats in our family. I'm seasoning these up with some salt, some pepper, some paprika, some garlic powder, and adobo seasoning. Now my oldest son likes his chicken wings buffalo style, so I'm using this red hot seasoning on his little set of chicken wings, and then you will see towards the end I also use buffalo sauce on his wings. I am baking these chicken wings in the oven at 375 degrees until they're cooked through. It took about 30 to 35 minutes for these, and then I'm pulling them out, and this is how they look so far. I'm gonna go ahead and with the buffalo, like I said, for the half of the wings. Now I said I dropped the ball on this one because I didn't record at the end where we had our plates with our sides and all of that, but you guys get the gist of it. Add this with a couple of sides and it makes a perfect family meal. Now this last recipe is probably my favorite of this whole video. I mean, that pizza right there is absolutely fantastic. I'm going to walk you guys through how I made that pizza at the end of this, but this is Crockpot barbecue chicken. To my Crockpot, I'm adding about 3 chicken breasts that I have thinned out really small, and I'm seasoning these up with some salt, some garlic powder, some pepper, and paprika. And I'm gonna add my lid to this crock pot and just let this cook all day until my chicken is ready to shred up. It cooked for about 6 hours on high. And then I went ahead and added the barbecue sauce to my chicken before I shredded it up, but you can add this barbecue sauce while it's cooking. I just kind of forgot about the chicken sitting on my counter all day, and towards the end of the day I realized I never threw the barbecue in there, so I was just doing this right now. But go ahead and add this barbecue in after a couple hours of it cooking so that barbecue can get all up into that chicken. I mean, it still came out really good, even the way I did it with my barbecue. And I did serve this up for dinner this night with some white rice and some vegetables. And my kids really enjoyed this barbecue chicken. They don't typically like barbecue chicken, so I was really shocked that they enjoyed that. But here are my tortilla pizzas using the barbecue chicken. I just added some barbecue sauce to the tortillas, some cheddar cheese, some of that barbecue chicken, and some red onions before cooking it in the oven at 400 degrees for about 10 minutes. And look at how crispy those tortillas come out. I love tortilla pizza. It's such an easy, versatile meal. And that is all for this week's What's for Dinner. Thank you guys so much for making this far. I hope you guys got some great ideas. As always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys come back next week to see another What's for Dinner, and we will see you guys real soon. Bye.